directed community action. So that's what we have going on today. But to get us started, we have a special treat. We have the pleasure to introduce Arielle Deseré, poet and spoken word artist, to share her gifts with us. So I'm going to pass it over to Arielle. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Hi, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Arielle Deseré. I am a poet and spoken word artist. I was born in Hayward, California, and raised in both Hayward and Antioch, California, which is within Contra Costa County, as you know. So that's my connection to Contra Costa. I moved to Antioch in the year 2000, so I understand and remember very vividly what it was like to be some of the first minorities living in the suburbs and rural areas of Contra Costa County. I'm also aware of the work our community organizers are doing today to make space for us to achieve and thrive in these communities. So the poem I'm sharing today explores exactly that, and it's titled, Making Space in Our Home. Contra Costa, the land opposite of the tide. But like the saying goes, the grass is always greener on the other side. We came here for a better life. Some of us were pushed here as a result of no opportunities in sight. Some of us were priced out from familiar inner cities. But we arrived with a mind of optimism and a pocket full of pennies. Escapees, we set up shop so that we could make a way. But here, in a supposed sound and far away place, we get even less access to the resources that make us feel safe. Growing up in towns not designed for you has our second generation inheriting the response of, we don't know what to do with you. That looks like harassment from authorities that make it plain and clear your appearance reads threatening and you don't belong here. Any sign of resistance in classrooms was met with fear, so you tried convincing your success stories to give back when they never felt wanted there. The second gen is left to struggle and repeat the same path, flee, find success, and never look back. But we refuse to continue to be treated like brown refugees when California was once ran by brown people that look like me. We demand to feel welcome, even if that means kicking and screaming for racial equity, shaking the table and getting untraditional, breaking down walls to get into rooms that weren't meant for us. We demand to thrive without feeling like trespassers, denied and delayed when making attempts to uplift and gather. We need community. We're not waiting to be allowed or waiting on legislation. We're developing the resources ourselves like our ancestors did without reparations. It's how we survive, building underground routes to freedom and developing ties, linking trusted local government with spiritual leaders, and valuing community activists as some of our brightest thinkers. Our community leaders are in the thick of it, hacking through the weeds and the trees, creating programs that restore hope for our children and blueprints for families, ensuring that housing is a right, not a privilege, changing laws and mentalities, hosting workshops for low-income minorities and making home buying a tangible reality, providing steps to rehabilitate our incarcerated neighbors with training and support, not pushing them out like strangers, voicing our stories over the airwaves and speaking our truth as creators through journalism, open mics, film, and mural painters, recognizing the need for trauma treatment and illness through mental health centers with anger management, violence prevention, and centering centers. Our communities are doing the work. We know what we need, but our kicking and screaming can't solve everything. We need backing. We need money. There are costs for our dreams. We don't need blacked out avatars or hashtags. We need capital funding. Because when economic support meets revolutionary thinking, the front line of racial inequity takes a blow and gatekeepers start retreating. The time to move mountains is ever present. And it starts with the people here believing. We were never asked to come into these suburbs and rural communities, but we're here and making space, turning lack into opportunity. Contra Costa, that beautiful piece of land opposite of the sea. And yes, the grass may have been yellow when we were expecting it to be green, but we'll spray paint it green until racial equity is achieved. It might take many more years of kicking and screaming, but we're setting down roots. This is our home too, and we're not leaving. Build with us. So that was making space in our home. Thank you so much for allowing me to be in this space with you and kick off this wonderful program. It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Go ahead, sis.
It was
Thank
so
you.
beautiful, so powerful. Thank you, Arielle. If folks can join me sharing some emojis, sharing stuff in the chat, showing your love, please